Welcome back to the CANDYcolore studio. I'm artist Katrina Berg, and this is episode 243. Well, we're trying this live thing on YouTube again, and I hope it works a little bit better. We'll see how it goes. So today, let's start with some gratitude. I am so grateful because recently we've had a lot of time to spend with our family, and it's been extra sweet. We got to go to Yellowstone for a few days for fall break. And that was super awesome. In fact, I'll show you. Let's see if I can show you some pictures. Okay, let's see here. Screen. Huh. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so we went to Yellowstone, and on the way, we got to stop at a fun cafe. I can't remember where it's at, but it is Carl's awesome employee, Darcy. It's her husband's hometown, and we had so much fun. So here are the kids there. And then we just had a really great time. I can't remember if I've ever been to Yellowstone. Like, I remember going in college to West Yellowstone, but I don't think we actually went in the park. We went water skiing and on the lake. So anyways, this was a lot of fun. It was cold. The first night it totally snowed, and that was actually really fun because the first day that we were in the park, it felt like fall, and the second day we definitely saw a lot of snow. And as you know, you're not supposed to put anything into, you're supposed to stay on those cute little boardwalk things, and you're not supposed to throw stuff into the geysers, but we didn't think there was anything wrong with throwing snow in there. So it was really fun to watch the snow melt. But yeah, it was beautiful. As you can see, sometimes not everyone wanted their pictures taken. Obviously, we saw some good wildlife. I think the only thing we didn't see was a bear. There were a couple times that there were people pulled over, and we like, oh, they're totally watching a bear. It's got to be a bear. But it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. It was fun to have like a last fling together before Carsten goes on his mission. And so that was really awesome. And I don't know, it's kind of a special place, Yellowstone. We'll have to go back again and see different parts of the park, but it was great. So that was really fun. And then I have to show you the other thing that I'm really grateful for. Our favorite Sunday of the year is always primary Sunday when the kids do the program. Let's see if I can find. I put some little videos. Oh, here we go. I'm not going to play the music. Oh, it is going to do the music. I'm going to turn it down. I'm turning down the music because I don't want YouTube to like X me because there's music in the background. But you can see the kids are having a good time. Let's see if I can see which one. There we go. So much fun. They had a good time. And it was definitely the best primary program since we've been award. And that was really fun. So that was awesome. Our twins, I think they really enjoyed it. They don't want you to know that they did, but they definitely did. So that was awesome. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. So yeah, such a fun time with our family. So lots of great, just a lot of gratitude that we could spend time together. And then for manifesting, I don't know how many of you are enjoying Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s MAHA or Make America Healthy Again, but like that is what I'm manifesting. So that's a big deal. I don't know. I'm excited to see what can happen if we can just like clean up all the things. And I guess for the red pill would definitely be chemtrails. If you haven't looked into chemtrails, it's getting so like in your face. It's crazy. Like people are dropping, like even RFK Jr. said, we're going to clean up the chemtrails. We're going to clean up the skies. So if you haven't done any research on that, I can't recommend enough. Dane Wigington on YouTube, he's got an awesome channel with lots of good information. And one of the, I think it was years and years ago, probably like honestly 12, 13 years ago, when I remember going to the allergist and she's like, there's molds and there's these things that are in the air. And I'm like, I don't understand. It's winter. Why are we having like molds? And I can't remember what the other thing was that I was having allergic reactions to. She's like, it doesn't make sense because it's winter, but it's what's in the air. And I'm like, what do you mean what's in the air? She's like, they're spraying stuff. I'm like, well, what do you mean? She's like, go look it up. My cute allergist is from Poland. And so sometimes there's a little bit of a language barrier. I don't even think she knew the word chemtrails, but she's like, they're spraying stuff in the air. And so I went and looked it up and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But then I feel like the best information that I really got was from the documentary, The Dimming. And that came from my dear friend Colleen Clark, like early 2020, I think she shared that with me. And so I will link to Dane's YouTube channel, and I'll specifically link to his documentary of The Dimming, because it's super helpful. So again, make America healthy again. Like I think that's so key, because I don't see how our kids are even going to make it if we just keep having all these toxins in our food and our water and our air and all the stuff. So that's what I'm manifesting. As for a studio update, you can say I've got a really big floral with birds behind me, and it's almost done. Like I had the collectors look at it today, and there's just a couple things I need to tweak, and then it'll be done. And so we're excited to go install it in their home here in a couple weeks. So that'll be awesome. And that means we're going to get a gorgeous Todd orchard frame. He's been working on a frame, and Todd's going to help us with all that. So that's going to be amazing. The other thing is I wanted to tell you about, two things. I mentioned in my last episode that I've been doing a mini series like for La Petite Maison Antique, and they just launched their holiday shop. When I say launched, like they redecorate specifically for the holidays. And so this year their theme is Alsace, like in the north part of France, and they have awesome like Christmas markets there. Anyways, it's amazing. So I did a couple little kind of like village picture here. Let me just share it with you. I'll show you. So I will share that with you. Here we go. If you're not watching on YouTube and you want to see this stuff, definitely check it out. Okay. Share. Okay. So here's some of the paintings of that gorgeous village. I literally just painted direct, like I tried to like paint, straight from their village. And then I also did some nutcrackers. So that's super fun. I've been wanting to do nutcrackers for forever, and I finally just did it. And so that was really fun. So again, for those of you that are not watching online, there is a video that I'm showing of the 5 little pieces in this series. So there's 2 cute little village scenes from Alsace, and then 3 nutcrackers. The one with the cupcake will be at La Petite Maison, and the other 2, the teal, and then also the teal background, and then the cute little guy, pink and blues, they are both going to be on my website. So look for those. They're pretty small. In fact, I'll stop sharing and you can kind of see. Oh, that's not the wrong picture. Hold on. I'll show you kind of how big they are. I'll hold them in my hand. You can see they're not very big. So they're super fun. Okay, so we're going to stop that share. Cool. All right, so I'll just show you with my camera. So here's one of them. Cute little nutcracker. He's got like a peppermint. He's got a peppermint theme and a blue and white stripe theme. He's really cute, white hair. And then the other one that I have that's going to be in my shop is this cute teal nutcracker. He's got dark hair, teal and white stripes. Anyways, he's really fun. So they're not super big. Like I think this one, he's just a little bit bigger than a 5x7, and the other one's smaller than a 5x7. So I can't tell you the exact size off the top of my head, but that is what's happening there. And so that's been super fun to get those ready for Amanda. And they just got back from France. And anyways, go check it out. Their shop is just incredible. It's in Draper, and I'll link to it in the show notes along with everything else I'm talking about. And then I wanted to tell you about I promised that I would do a whole episode, like a dedication to the pastry piece that I did. And so I pulled together a bunch of videos and pictures, and I wanted to kind of talk through that and kind of like show you all the awesomeness with Todd, and of course Carl and Karsten helped me so much. So let's look at that. So again, this special piece was for a family in Mapleton, and so here's the story behind these cute people. So basically, the husband and wife met in college in a French class. Like he was a young, like new professor, French professor, and she was taking classes. And that's how they met. And then after they got married, he took her to France. And of course, like her favorite thing was the pastry shops. And so I met her like maybe just a year and a half ago at Swiss Days, and her daughter Brooke Bowen and I are good friends because Brooke's also an incredible artist. If you're not following her, definitely go check her out. But so her mom wanted everything to be pastries, and so we just really dove in. And fortunately, she went to France recently and took some pictures, and then I found other pictures. But yeah, so we that was really fun. And then, of course, I had to add some birds. We had to add some fun little birds to just represent all the cool things. Like there's a cute little fruit dove that's on a lamp, and there's two lamps. They're these like French Art Deco lamps, and they're actually in, I want to say, Brooke's dad's parents' home, if that makes sense. I think that's right. And so they're kind of special because it's a nod to his family, but also that, anyways, it fits perfectly in this little pretend pastry shop that we conjured up. And then, of course, the counter, we've got the counter and like the cabinetry, and I wanted it to match their awesome French stove, which is so beautiful. They have this incredible kitchen. Anyways, I wanted all those things to kind of fit together. But as I worked on this piece, it was so fun because I felt like you could really feel the love for their family and the love that they have for each other and all the sweet moments. So this piece is now hanging in their dining room, which is extra special, but it just makes me think about their family because they've got a beautiful, gorgeous, like big dining room table where their whole family can gather. And so it just seems like the perfect place to like have all those sweet memories of their family. Anyways, they're absolutely darling. So I'll show you some pictures of and stuff of when we installed it. This last picture I wanted to show you because our little twin is standing next to it, and you can tell how big it is. It's really big. I can't remember the exact dimensions. I'd have to look it up, but it's very large. So now I'm going to show you some videos. So this is when we got to Todd. So Todd is so amazing. He helped us get the painting to his shop. So fortunately, his father-in-law has a trailer, and thanks to Todd, we're able to get the painting down to his shop. And then I'll show you another video. This is Todd and Carl and Karsten getting it ready to go in the frame. And it's amazing. So if you are not familiar with Todd's work, so Todd is an artist. He does amazing, amazing artwork himself, but he's also a craftsman. And so he's been doing all my frames. He also does my boards. So here you've got just like a good close up of all the shine and the thick paint and all the details in his shop. I feel like the lighting was actually better in his frame shop than it was in my studio. Oh, and I have to, another shout out to Todd, the letters, the patisserie letters, that was Teresa's idea kind of at the last minute. And I was kind of stressed about how we were going to get them on there with all the thick paint. But Todd came to the rescue and helped me figure out how to add it without disrupting the paint. We did like a really light glaze, and it's just chef's kiss. Like it's exactly the way it needed to be. So I was so grateful for that. So here we are. I want to go down and do more videos with Todd because you guys, he is so amazing. Like this, obviously this is a very, very large frame. You can tell because, you can tell with him standing next to it how big it is. And so just to see him do his magic, what I want to do is go down there when he's doing the plaster, because that's incredible. And he's created all these special tools just to make these awesome frames, like jigs and kind of like molds to help get the right shape. So Todd is a genius. So just a few more like behind the scene video of the whole process. So this is all the same day. So Todd came up, got the board, we brought it down, they put it in the frame, we assembled it, and you can see if you look on carefully, there are some handles on the back. So Todd's figured out that it's really nice to have these handles. So when we move stuff, it just makes it easier. So you can tell they're going to grab the handle so they can get it right in the right spot. And that is awesome. And then this is just a little detail of them kind of putting things together, Todd and Carl, and Carsten's giving them directions. But there it is. There's that absolutely stunning golden frame. And it's kind of a light gold with some white. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Todd always does an amazing job. He's always like, what do you want? And I'm just like, I give him a little bit of direction, but mostly I just want him to do his thing because he does such a beautiful job. So there it is in the frame, another little photo. And then you can see it took all three of them to carefully get it into the trailer. And of course, we were so careful. We've got pillows and everything just to make sure that it's secure. And then, of course, we're praying the whole way to their house. So here we are waiting on the porch, and Brooke's going to help let us in. And so that was a really fun day. So yeah. And then what's cool is that Todd made a French cleat. So he made a French cleat specifically so that it would just be so much easier. And then we don't have to worry about one nail or two nails kind of holding the whole thing. Because the thing is, when you have these gorgeous thick wood panels and these gorgeous frames, it is not light. And of course, I put a ton of paint on there. So it's not light. So you want to have a really good system. So here they were trying to figure it out. Now, as things go, it wasn't perfect. The wall was a little bit warped, and so was the frame, but they were warped opposite. So it took a lot of figuring out, but they were amazing. Between Todd and Carl and Carsten, they got it exactly the way we needed it. So here you have the view of their amazing dining room. Isn't that fun that they can put 3 chairs on the short side of the table? Like, it's the most, it's just one of those dreamy tables where you can fit your whole family around it. And they are so cute. There's Brooke's dad. He is so darling. I shouldn't say darling, but he's absolutely so much fun. It was so fun to visit with him. He was so cute. Just telling us about all kinds of stuff when we were at the house. It was so fun to walk around and have him share some of the stories of things they've collected. And that was awesome. And then, of course, there's that gorgeous beam. And behind them is the darling pantry, like so many amazing, dreamy things. But then there's Brooke and her latest special creation, her darling daughter. So that was really fun to spend time with them. And here's a few more shots of the dining room with the painting hung. It just looks so good in there. We were just so excited. And so I'm just so happy that I got to spend time thinking and creating for that special family. And it was so funny because Todd texted me like maybe a week later and he's like, is it okay? Is the painting okay? I'm like, I think so. They haven't said anything. He's like, I'm so afraid that it's going to fall off the wall. Of course, it's great. But we were both kind of panicking. And then I got to see Teresa and Brooke and her sister at Swiss Days. And obviously everything's fine. And that was really good to get to catch up with them. And anyways, so such a sweet, sweet opportunity. I'm so grateful I got to do that. So that's the pastry shop. Yeah, can't even tell you how much I just think that family is the best. So that was such an amazing opportunity to spend time with them. Okay, let's talk about opportunities for collectors. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take for this video to load or whatever, but tonight is the 135 show, and that is such a special show. It is at the Cottonwood Country Club, starts at 5 and it'll be open till 8. It's only one night. So make sure if you're local and you want to go, make time. It's awesome. And then I don't know if they're going to have the Four Lemons open tonight as well, but that's the new gallery that Nanette has recently opened. And if you get a chance, definitely go to that too. I want to show you some of my really there's so many amazing artists. I think there's 32 artists this year, but I'm just going to highlight a few because I think they're so special. So let's see here. I'm going to share again. I want to show you. Let's see. The first one I want to show you is Heather Holm. and she does the most gorgeous landscapes. Just the way that she thinly does layers, it's just so whimsy and fun, but also charming. It's just absolutely charming. So that's Heather's. And then I'll show you Barb's. Barb Young, her stuff. I fell in love with Barb's art before when I first started doing the art market with Nanette, and her stuff. Oh, let's see if I can it only does the one. Hold on. Let me fix this. Stop. Maybe I have to do it one more time. So what I can do, it only does one at a time. Okay, that's fine. Okay, here's Barb's. And I didn't even know Barb for many years, but I just admired her work. And I was always like, I just love her style. I want to have my own style, just like Barb. And so she's just inspired me so much. So there's Barb's work. Again, whimsy, super fun colors. Like, she's just so talented. And then let's show you Laura Lee Nicolay. Here's Laura Lee's. And I have known Laura Lee for quite a while. She's so much fun, you guys. She's the kind of person that you just need in your life. But her art is also wonderful colors, landscapes, abstracts. She's got portraits and florals and mushrooms and all these fun, whimsy, marvelous amazingness. So that's Laura Lee. And then the last one I want to show you is Jenna Ward. And her stuff, again, also really fun colors. You're getting a theme. I'm sharing with you all my favorite colors, but also these are dear friends. So Jenna's are also whimsy and fun. And hers, she does a lot of florals and abstracts. So she's going to have some amazing stuff too. So there's just 4 of the amazing 32 artists that I think you're really going to enjoy getting to go with the 135. There were like a bunch of really great shows that opened up last night. So JKR Gallery opened up their $1,000 show. And it's kind of fun that the 135 show and the $1,000 show are the same weekend, but that one just opened last night, and there's some really special pieces in there as well. And then at the Compass Gallery, Shari Lyon has a solo show, and Denise Gosser. She's got her Art After series is up at the Compass Gallery, and that's in downtown Provo. So both JKR Gallery and Compass are in Provo. So definitely check them out. And then another fun one that I need to share with you is, let's see. Let me find it. It's called the Utah Masters. And so this is an annual event where you actually get to go to see the artists in their studio, and you can purchase artwork. And these are all artists in Utah County. So I'm just going to walk you through some of these. So you've got Brian Mark Taylor, Howard Lyon, Shari Lyon, J. Kirk Richards, and then Ben Hammond, David Dibble, Janan Woodhead, Crystal Harper, Dan Wilson, Mary Sauer, John Darley, Jennedy Page, Esther Kandari, Liz Harris, Ellie Wilson, Lindy Mott, Caitlin Zupanik, and I'm sorry, she's the only one I don't know, like I'm not familiar with her, so I'm sorry if I messed up her name, and then Casey Childs. So it's interesting because I think the first year they did it, I don't know if this is the 4th or 5th year they've done this. There were only like a handful of them, and they've just slowly been adding artists, and you can tell lots of different styles. But again, they're considered masters. These are all amazing artists. Some of them are my dear friends. You will love getting to go in their studios. I think it's such a brilliant idea. So that's happening November 23rd. I believe it's just all day. And yeah, so there's that. And I feel like other really cool things, don't forget, like this is the season. So there's like going to be markets. Utah Art Market has their holiday market is December 4th through the 7th. And then Beehive Bazaar is doing it the 3rd through the 7th, and then also the 10th through the 14th. The Hive Market will have stuff. Everybody's got stuff. So just keep an eye out, because some of those are pop-ups and some are just going to be shows that are going to be up for a month or two. So, and then the last thing is, I haven't got to go yet, but the spiritual and religious show over at Springville Art Museum, I'm hoping to go this week. So maybe the next episode I'll have some pictures for you, but I'm really excited to see that. I've been seeing some of the work. There's some exquisite pieces I'm so excited to go see in person. So there you go. Okay. Oh, last thing that I want to share, an opportunity specifically for artists. And this one is kind of a new thing. I don't really personally know the people doing this, but there is a new show that is happening at BYU. It is an art auction. So I guess it's the BYU Art History Art Auction. This is the first time they've ever done it. It's going to be November 14th. And if you want to participate, I will put a link in the show notes. You can also follow them on Instagram at the Art Auction BYU. And you can submit multiple things in your submissions. And I think they said that the soft close of the applications was like the 8th. So you've got 6 days to work on that. You got about a week, and then they said soft. So maybe if you forget, you can just keep trying to submit stuff. So all you need to do is click on that link and, fill out the survey or what form, and then you'll be applied into that. So that's pretty cool. So that is happening. If you get to participate, let me know how it goes for you. Okay, so there's that. And then I want to jump into this topic. So the topic that I want to talk about, I want to talk today about non-traditional paths for our children. And just, I don't have a lot of answers, but I'm just letting you know that we have been riding some wild trains. I say that in the best way, because I feel like, fortunately, our kids, they came to us for a reason. I'm so grateful they're my kids. I learn so much from them every day. And yet it's been awesome to kind of see how they've been brave to like take different paths when the paths didn't work for them, or to change course when they felt like it wasn't the direction they wanted to go. And I had a really good deep talk with Anna Claire recently, and she was just talking about, how hard it is to make decisions because you don't want to do the wrong thing on your life path, right? Like, I remember last year when she was a senior, she was really stressed about making the wrong decision. But I said to her, I'm like, I think we just do the best we can, but I don't think our heavenly parents will let us go too far down the wrong road. Like, they'll always help us correct course, right? So for me, I was always meant to be an artist. I was so happy to do architecture school. I loved that. I had some great direction from people who saw my talents and said, oh, you'd be a good architect. And I really enjoyed architecture, but it wasn't, there's good, better, best. And that was better, but it wasn't best. Artist was best for me. And so I feel like it just took me a while to figure that out, but I didn't go too far to where it was too late for me to course correct, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, maybe 27 when I decided to start painting in oils was a little later, but it was good. And I've confessed on here that I wish I would have just started doing my art from the beginning, but it's okay. I learned a lot and enjoyed a lot and made a lot of friends along the way. But, so yeah, I think I do think that that's true for me, but I've seen it in many other people's lives as well. I think that if you are constantly seeking for the best, that God will direct you and will help you find the right thing for you to do and help you really be able to hone into your gifts and your talents and use them and magnify them through God, right? So I had this great conversation with my new friend Krista from the Wonderwall Gallery on Main Street in Heber recently, and she was talking about this book that she read. I can't remember what it was called. I'll have to have her send it to me. But it basically talked about how the important thing is to learn your talents. Like, instead of pursuing your passion, pursue your talents, and that will become your passion. And I thought that was good, because forever I've said pursue your passion, but I think to do that, you really need to know what your gifts and your talents are. And I just thought that was so wise. And I think a lot of times it's easy to be like, oh, this is where I want to get. But sometimes the best way to get there is to focus on and lean in and develop those gifts and talents. So I'm just going to walk you through some really personal things that have been happening for us. I'm going to walk through all three of our older kids and kind of what their journeys have been recently, and hope that it will help you as you are making choices, or you have teenagers or grandchildren that are doing the same. And just to let you know that it's okay to do things that are not traditional. But again, I don't have like all the answers, but I think that we've figured out that it is important to support them, and it's okay to change course. So, okay, let's start with Garrett. So Garrett's 16 and he's awesome. He's our grower. He's our learner. He's just like the sweetest, cuddly guy. And he last year in high school was his sophomore year, and we got to fall break and he was like, I'm having a hard time. I'm not enjoying high school. I think I just want to do homeschool for a while. And he's done homeschool. And so we're like, okay, let's pursue some of your passions. And so he was working on some stuff with Carl for landscape architecture because he was interested in that. He was doing drone stuff. He was preparing to get his drone license so that he can also start preparing for his pilot's license, because that's what he wants to do as of right now, November 2nd of 2004. But anyways, we just kept doing things that he was interested in, and we were trying to see if that's where his gifts and talents lied. And so after a year of that, he's like, okay, I want to go back to school, but I also just want to get done, because he doesn't enjoy the drama. He doesn't enjoy all the, I don't know, there's just so many hard things about public school and high school. And I didn't realize how hard it was until I had kids, because I remember getting to college and friends saying freshman year, like, this is the best. Like, we had this amazing freshman ward, and I've talked about them before, and how they all said that like high school was a big bomb, but freshman year was amazing. And so I think I finally understood, getting to know these friends, realizing that not everyone has like an amazing high school experience. There are hard things during high school. And I've learned that by watching my older three kids, and it's been a lot harder for them than I think it was for my generation. And anyways, so he was thinking of just taking his GED, and then they started this new alternative program at the high school, and so they're really focusing on that. So there's a ton of kids doing that. So he decided to do that, and it's been really good in a lot of ways. It's been different in a lot of ways. And he said to me the other day, he's like, Mom, I might, just want to go do regular school next year. I'm like, really? Okay. So it's just like, you just never know. But I think at the same time, if we hadn't have tried homeschool during high school and then tried the alternative during high school, he wouldn't know what his options were. And so it's been really good. It's been really good for him. He's been making lots of new friends this year. He had, I got to show you this cute picture of him, because why not? He's had some amazing friends in high school, but then he's been trying to make new friends too. And I think that that's been really good. It's been really fun to see him. Oh, I got to show you this awesome picture of he and Carsten. Did I show you that? This is such a cute picture of the two of them. So let's see if that'll work. So here's Garrett is on the right, Karsten's on the left, and they're so cute, and they just don't look anything alike. So it's so funny when people meet them, because they're like, your brothers? How are you guys related? But that's just the way it is. So there's that cute picture of him. And then I have this really cute picture of he and his friends for Halloween. So he's on the right and he's all decked out. He's just a good kid, you guys. He's just such a good kid, and we're so grateful to have him in our family. And one of the cool things about this alternative program at the high school is that they're trying to get the kids focusing on things that they really enjoy doing. So they make time for them to have jobs. And so he's been working at AutoZone, and that's been awesome for us. It's been good for him because he's learning so much, but he'll come home and be like, oh, I'm going to do this for Anna Claire's car, and I'm going to fix this and fix that. And it's just been great. And it's, Karsten was already getting into cars the last couple of years. And so between the two of them and Carl, they've been learning a lot, and it's been amazing. So, okay. So that's kind of Garrett. And then I want to kind of share with you what's been going on with Anna Claire. So she obviously, I'm just going to play these in the background. Hopefully it won't play the music, because I don't want YouTube to get mad. Let's see. I might have to like mute it. But I'm just going to play some of her dancing in the background for those of you watching on YouTube because she's way more exciting than I am. It's loading, it's struggling. But this first one I'm going to show you is actually her solo that she did in the national competition. And in that solo, she actually got top 10. And that was super exciting for her. She's just worked so hard, and maybe it's not going to work. Maybe that one's not going to work, but I can show you this one. Let's see if this one will load. Yeah, that one's going to load. Maybe. Yeah, it's going. Okay, this is a cute trio with her two besties. So the interesting thing about Anna Claire is that she's pretty patient about stuff. And, it was awesome. She had her own little bakery business during high school and during COVID, and that was awesome. But then when it came to dance, there were a few things that we did differently. Like we didn't want to put our kids into sports and in activities that kind of took away from the family when they were really little. And so we waited and we waited. And then when she was 11, she was like, I want to take dance classes. I'm like, okay. We're ready. So we put her in one, and she had this awesome experience with Sonnet here locally. And that was great with Rhythmic Studios. I can't remember exactly what Sonnet's thing was called, but anyways, and that was great. And then she went to the Nutcracker and she said, I want to be in the Nutcracker. I'm like, oh, well, Sonnet Studio doesn't do the Nutcracker. So if you are that committed, you're going to have to go to the other studio. So we went to UAC, which is now, well, I guess it's UAC, but it was WDC before, but it's UAC, Utah Arts Collective. And she had amazing experiences there. She learned a lot. She grew. It was good. It was really good. She really kind of came into her own, but there were some hard things too, just the way the programs are. And there were times where we just kind of felt like, oh, maybe we did something wrong because we went to France one year. And so she didn't get to do certain things in the dance program. And so she kind of felt behind for a while. But we decided, we went to one year, her director was like, she's got this scholarship. Why don't you take her to nationals? It'd be so good for her. So we took her to nationals, and it was a hard week, but it was so good for her. And I remember feeling that whole week like, okay, dear God, like what is the best thing for Anna Claire with her dance? What is going to help her grow the most? What is going to be the thing that's going to be good for her soul? And so we just kind of felt inspired to follow this ASH program, and it's called Artist Simply Human. And so you've got the studio and they're competing, and then you've got this national group that they would go to their competitions once a year. But then if you get scholarships, you can go to more competitions in different states. So we just really felt like she needed to focus on that. And so she did. In that first year she did the nationals, she got like a tri-city scholarship. And so then the next year we got to go together. The two of us got to go to some of these cities, and she got to compete and she got to do extra classes. And we just started to see her really like blossom, and her technique and her ability to pick up the choreography just totally increased. And it was amazing. And I don't know, we just started to see her bloom in a way that she wasn't like, there were like holes in her, I don't know, in her training in the best way. How do I say that? You've got this opportunity for growth, and yet the studio can only offer so much. She was on the team at the high school, which can only offer so much. And yet it just seemed like something was missing, and that something seemed to be participating in this ASH program. And so she did the first year, she went to those 3 cities. Well, okay. So she went to nationals, then she did 3 cities, then she tried out for their company, and that was so good. So all last year she got to be on their company, which meant, she got to go to these extra cities. She was doing extra performances, learning new choreography. And so between those 3 things of high school, studio, and the ASH program, I just felt like she was really being able to magnify all those gifts and the talents that she's been given and really develop those gifts. And so that was amazing. And she had some really special friends that she got to dance this last year with. So yeah, so she chose to stay with this group so that she could go with them as a team to nationals. She did nationals twice by herself, but then they went as a team and competed this past summer, and they were awesome. So what you're watching right now is the Sirens dance from Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's just so much fun. The choreography, she has the most amazing teacher, Miss Rachel. Rachel is awesome, and Rachel did so much variety, like just amazing things. And so I'm so glad that she had the opportunity to work with Rachel, because they did lots of different styles. They didn't just stick to one style. They did musical dance theater, they did you know, jazz, they did lyrical and ballet, they did all the things, but it was just really awesome for them. And so that was great. So I'm going to skip to the next one as I tell. This is a fun one, maybe. We'll see if this is the one that I'm thinking of. But yeah, overall, it was the right path for Anna Claire, but we didn't know it, we didn't know it right away. And that's just the way it goes. You don't always know what the best thing is. There's this one I want to show you. I want to show you their musical dance theater because it's so cute. I can't do it alone. Maybe this is it. We'll see. Yeah, this is it. It's super cute. And Thane Jasperson choreographed this piece, and the girls were just hilarious. Their facial expressions the whole time were just so funny. They were great, and their technique was great, and it was just a great number. Yeah, so it was just a really, really good year, great senior year. And so then she kind of had to decide what she was going to do next. So we kind of worked through those non-traditional avenues. And then it was like, okay, what do we do now that she's graduating? And we just kind of had to leave her alone for a while. And that was hard because it's hard when you see so many great things in your kids and you want to kind of suggest things, but it's really important to just let them decide for themselves. And we were, of course, super excited that she chose to do culinary school. It's just a 2-year program, which is awesome. And there it's at UVU, but it's like at the mouth of the canyon, so she can still live at home. And that's been amazing to spend time with her. She just goes down 3 days a week to the culinary school. And then she's been working at Victory Ranch at a restaurant. And so she's having lots of great opportunities. And then amongst it all, this year, she is doing the ASH program again. She's on their company as a captain. And so she's actually there right now in Orlando doing their very first city of the season. And I got to talk to her a couple nights ago, and she was just really excited, doing well, excited to be there. And so that's kind of fun that she still gets to do dance, but it is a transition because she was doing so many hours of dance every week. And now it's mostly baking and cooking and, helping at the restaurant with like a side of dance, right? Like it's a side of dance, but she's been working on her solo, and that's been amazing. So it's been a lot of fun, but, yeah, it just took a while, and she felt really good. And it was so fun because she gets there and she comes home from school, as in culinary school. And Carl's always like, this is the happiest that she's been. We've never seen her this happy. She just finally, she's like, school is actually fun. And so that's when you found like the right thing, right? When it's so much fun. And so we're just so happy for her. Yeah. So, but I will say, we had this deep conversation the other day because it's like, okay, this is just 2 years. What's next? And sometimes I'm just the person that's always like looking down the road, and she's like, Mom, I don't know yet. Like I don't want to have to make a decision yet. So cute. But, that's what she's got going on. I wish I could show you this video of her doing her solo, because it is like the best. Oh, is it going to go? Maybe it's going to go. We'll see. Anyways, it's absolutely darling. It's called Rather Be, and it's a jazz dance. I think that's what they called it, jazz. Anyways, a lot of fun. But they call her Smiles at Ash because that's her thing. She's very smiley. She's a good little performer, and she just really feels it from her heart. So we'll see what happens. She'll get to dance with the ASH program this year. She's not dancing with the studio. She's just going to be taking some classes with Rachel, and I think it's Jackie at another studio for ballet, just to keep up her technique. But that's kind of what's going on. So we're going to go watch all of her friends in the Nutcracker here pretty soon, and that'll be super fun. So that's coming up. I think just in a couple weeks, we get to go to the Nutcracker. So if you haven't got tickets and you want to go watch the Nutcracker tea, the Utah Arts Collective does their tea at the Midway Town Hall, and it is perfect for little kids because it's not a long program. It's a very short program. So it's a lot of fun. You get food and the stage is lifted and you're sitting all around the stage. And so it's very intimate, but it's a great program. So that's what's going on there. And then let's talk about Carsten. I wanted to kind of save Carsten for the end because it's been a big deal. He has worked really hard the past couple years. How do I start? So Carsten's this amazing kid that he does things because he knows deep in his heart that's what's right for him. He doesn't do things because someone tells him. He doesn't do things because it's the thing to do. He does it when he knows in his heart that that's what's right for him. And so it's been awesome just being his mom and learning from him and just being okay that not everybody's going to take the same road. So he took his road, and in high school, he just kind of slowly was more and more distancing himself from church stuff, which, that's the road he wanted to take, and he felt good about it. And we just had to be patient and let him do his thing. And amidst all of this, I learned a lot about just how important it is to let people take their own path, and that sometimes we need to realize that not everybody is going to have the same spiritual journey, and that that's totally okay. And we need to give them space to do that. And so it's been really good. And I felt like as he got deeper into high school, the further he went away from basically Mormonism or being part of the LDS church, I felt like he still really wanted to be part of our family. And I felt like our relationship was getting better. And that's kind of sounds strange, but that's totally how it was. He was there because he loved us, and we still had really deep talks and stuff. But he kind of got to the beginning of his freshman year and he wasn't happy, and he just wanted to change things. And so I have to backtrack, but amidst kind of the depths of all these things that he was struggling with, I just got to the point where I remember praying all the time. And I would pray and I would say, "Dear God, I know that, taking this path may not be for everyone, and I don't expect our kids to take the same path as us. But the only thing that I would really hope for as a mother is that at some point in his life, that he would have a desire to have a relationship with Christ." And that's all I wanted. I just wanted for him to feel like he could have that desire and go after a relationship with Christ. And I didn't know what that would look like. I didn't know what that would feel like, how long it would take, if it was something that would happen in his 80s, but that was the only desire I had for him. It was a very simple desire. And then his senior year, we didn't know, but he was really he was miserable. And so he knew he needed to make changes in his life, and he decided he wanted a relationship with Christ. And so he started really pursuing that. And the end of his senior year, I don't know, beginning of summer, he came to his dad and I don't know, we could tell there was something changing. We could tell something was changing, right? And so he came to us one day and he's like, "I want to serve a mission." And we were like, "What?" He started just really getting into all things church and wanting to participate and wanting to really study and be together as a family. And everything changed. And it was amazing to watch that transition. And so then it took him a year to kind of work through things and to be able to prepare to serve a mission. And so he was really patient and finally got to put in his papers maybe June. And then of course, it took another 4 or 5 months to get to where he is right now, where he's training to leave. And so he goes into the home MTC Wednesday. So I'm recording this on Saturday, but I will say that the greatest thing that happened to him was being worthy to go to the temple. And then he had this desire to go. He really wanted to go, and he wanted to spend as much time as he could in there. And so he was set apart as a temple worker. And we watched him grow and learn and just like commit. And it was so great. That was the best thing that happened to him, was to be a temple worker. And so I don't know. I talked to a friend today and I'm like, I can't even say like that's the best thing for these kids. And it's funny because we were laughing. We're teasing him because we're like, your dad and I would love to be temple workers and you beat us to it. You got to do it before we did, you know? And Carl's so good. He takes cute Dennis every week and they go together. And sometimes I tag along and I always try to go with the kids. We try to go like once a month with our older kids. But yeah, so it's interesting how that was the best thing for him. And I looked back at before I met Carl, I went to the temple for the first time about a year before Carl and I started dating. And that was the best thing that could have happened to me, was to spend time just really focusing on getting closer to Christ. And that was awesome. And I learned so much. And then it just really helped me prepare before getting married. And so I don't know, if you've got kids that are wondering what to do and what's the next best thing, if they are worthy and they have a desire, I would say don't put off going to the temple. And if you get a chance to be a temple worker, totally do it, because again, it's been the greatest thing for sweet Carsten. So I'm going to show you a cute picture, some pictures of him. These are just from his farewell. So let's see. Okay, other cool things. So his farewell was awesome. It was really awesome. And he got to speak that day with his best friend Stone and our dear friend Spencer Willits. And so that was like full circle. That was so full circle. And what was ironic was it was Karsten and Stone's very first talk. Both of them, the first time they ever talked in church at sacrament meeting, was the day that Karsten's farewell. And so that was really sweet that they got to do that together. They're just so cute. Anyways, but they all did awesome. I wish I would have recorded all their talks. It was so good. So good. And then here's just a few fun pictures. Here's some of Karsten's friends that came, some of his dear friends that came to his farewell. He had friends come from college to be here for his farewell. And that was really cool. And then we had lots of family that came, and I'm not going to show all the pictures, just a few of the ones that Karsten was in. But it was really special to get to spend time with family. And I was just so grateful that day for those that were able to come, because it was kind of a full circle. You know, you just kind of like, you get to the point where you don't have huge goals or dreams. You just have simple ones that are really important. And then you just are so surprised when it actually happens, when those things actually come to pass. It's very, very cool. So anyways, sorry. So lots of non-traditional things. I feel like we've done everything backwards. Karsten is his last friend to leave on a mission. I think pretty soon here his friends are going to start coming home and he's just barely leaving, but he's more prepared and he's more resolved and he knows why he wants to be there. And same thing with Garrett and Anna Claire. Like, I just know that as long as I love them and continue to support them, whatever path they take, like, I just know that we'll be able to stay close as a family. And I'm just so grateful for those times that we get to spend together. I had a really hard time the other day. I get these hormonal migraines. I think I've told you guys about this, and I didn't have them for like 2 months, maybe 3. And I was like, oh, I finally figured it out. I'm like eating the right things for my hormones. And then I got one of those horrific hormonal migraines. And it was the one day that everybody wanted to have these deep chats. And sometimes that's just the way it goes. You have these like amazing chats with your kids and you're just not totally there, but God lifts you and helps you. And sometimes it's probably better for me to not feel good, because then I do more listening than talking. I would say that listening is probably the most important thing that I've learned about being a parent, is just to listen to them. And they're amazing people doing amazing things. And I'm so proud of them. And it has been extra sweet to just have this extra year to be together. I don't know what's going to happen, when Carsten comes home, he'll probably not want to be here anymore, which is totally understandable. He'll go and live with his friends. And when he gets home, who knows where where Garrett and Anna Claire will be. Garrett will probably be on a mission. Who knows where Anna Claire is going to be. So it's going to be really interesting. So again, I'm grateful we had that time at Yellowstone to just be a family for a few days. And anyways, so lots of emotions, lots of things. I just want to say, dear friend, if you feel like you're taking a non-traditional path, or somebody you love is taking a non-traditional path, like, it's totally okay. And just keep following your heart, listen to your heart. God will direct you. God will help you develop those talents. They will help you know how to best support your loved ones that are trying to develop their talents and discover their talents so they can pursue their passions. So many good things. And I just want to send a lot of love to you from the CANDYcolore studio.